やりましょいと。2日目。起きて。北の国旗。とりあえず、懐中電灯、いらねえから。怪しい人物になるせ。とりあえず。何にすればいいんだって。冷蔵庫。アパートみたいなところ。組合、ボス。似合う、報告するなら。ボスに報告。
The door is closed. The door is closed. This door can only be opened as you hold the metal. You sense the warmth left this door as you hold the metal. Still, you should punch a fucking hole in it. You slam your fist into the vinyl. It does not produce a hole. Not to mention, great.
何もなさそうであると。なんか人が増えとるやん。人間が増えている。おはようございます。
Morning. Looks like we can get to work at once. The union muscle turned up. They look rowdy. We should talk to them. I mean ungovernable. Martinez isn't exactly enthusiastic about the RCM being here. They prefer to be policed by the union. These men here. Men who drink beer for breakfast? There's talk of an armed wing of the union called the Hardy Boys. That would just escalate tensions. No captain would sign off on it. Solving one murder isn't worth a conflict between the RCM and the Debarders Union. In fact, even the death of 2 detectives might not warrant an all-out war. So let's keep a cool head, okay?
He's not exaggerating about that mortal danger, just calmly factoring it in. Your fists clench and your pulse rises uncomfortably.
I completely forgot. Sorry, I had a rough night's sleep. It's them by the looks of it. Loud and nasty, just like the manager said. One loose thread less to worry about, and one big problem to replace it.
をつける。ポイント。
Everything points to the dock workers union. The belt used for hanging him, the circumstances in Martinez, my preliminary information. Which may, of course, all be wrong. But we still need to talk to them, and it won't be easy. One more thing before we do. We don't have to talk to them immediately. We can walk right past them, continue with our business.
Yeah, streetwise. Zoom right past. Do it on your own terms.
They're in no hurry to leave. They think they own the place. Anyway, I leave that choice to you. Whatever you decide is fine by me.
どうしようかな。冷蔵庫だけ行こうか。
Just a
おいとこ
moment.
こにいるよ。
She's agitated, judging from the way she keeps pulling at the frayed edge of her blanket.
And there's no public phones nearby?
The closest phone booth is down the coast. Sorry for the inconvenience, ma'am.
It's fine, I understand. Thank you anyway. Please don't trouble yourself about me, sweetie. I was just hoping to make a call, but the Whirling's phone line isn't working. The union office probably has a phone, but I can't really get there. Or to the phone booth down the coast. And Gary's phone is dead too. The manager was vague about it.
Why would he be vague about phone problems? This is something to look into later. Ask God, maybe.
電話回線に。
To let the young woman who's house sitting for us know that we may be delayed. Morel, my husband, and our friend Gary were supposed to get back by Monday night. but they're still missing and I haven't heard from them. I was also hoping she'd heard from Morel. That's just it. This isn't like him at all. He always plans his expeditions so carefully.
A cold breeze hisses through dense thickets of reeds. Something sweet in it, somnolent. A damp chill goes down your spine. When you look around, you're still in the whirling in rags.
But you have more important things to worry about. Just some field work, sweetie. Morel is a highly trained scientist. He and his assistant Gary are studying an extremely rare species of insect. But they should have returned by now. They were just going down the coast across the water lock to set a few traps. He said they'd be back on Monday. What could be keeping them?
あれ、今何曜日なんだろう。月曜日。曜日書いてねえな。
That was broken. Could this be it?
Oh, sweetie, it's nothing like that. Gary's as loyal as they come. I trust him with my husband's life any day. Oh my, what happened to the water lock? Well, whatever the cause, I'm thankful. To both of you. You've spared me another sleepless night.
You're welcome, ma'am.
I hate to ask, but if your investigation takes you to the other side of the coast, please do keep an eye out for my husband.
This will surely lead to a cryptozoological mystery with that extremely rare insect.
And if you see him, let him know Lena is waiting for him here at the Whirling. He gets so tangled up in his work that he may not know the water lock's been repaired, and it's cold out there. Oh, you're such a dear. Thank you, sweetie. Oh, yes. A zoologist. A cryptozoologist, to be more precise.
It's a pseudoscience that attempts to legitimize research into mythological beasts and urban legends.
That's one opinion, yes. And people are entitled to their opinions.
She's used to playing off such insults casually, but they still affect her.
My apologies, ma'am. I did not mean to undermine your hobby.
It's not a hobby, dear. It's a subfield of zoology, one specializing in animal species that are so exceedingly rare that many assume them to be extinct or even fictitious. Searching for such species called cryptids is difficult and often thankless.
名古屋
And。frankly, many scientists are too lazy to do it. Universities these days are rarely interested in supporting real research.
アンチ
Oh
か。
dear, I'm not sure where to begin. Well, his expression is slightly grumpy, but his eyes are always bright and curious, like a small boy's. And his palms are quite coarse from all the field work, but he's quite gentle. Oh, well, he's a bit shorter than you, but with a larger frame, and he has longish white hair, usually a bit uncombed. You might say wild, even.
The lieutenant pulls out his notebook and begins jotting down the woman's description.
One other thing, he'll likely have all kinds of field gear on him, even if he's not out in the reeds, you know, just in case. We'll be celebrating our 16th anniversary this autumn. Not the most numerically satisfying anniversary, but I like the less obvious milestones even more somehow. Via dating agency, I'm ashamed to say. I was looking to get back into the scene after recovering from my accident, and he'd just divorced. We hit it off, and, well, here we are.
She's skipping over some important parts, Perhaps you'll find out more later.
I hope I've been useful. Oh, sweetie, it's fascinating. But I shouldn't bore you with entomological minutiae.
The lieutenant gives you a sideways glance.
Well, it's a phasmid, technically,
名の
but
しか
Oh, yeah. Here comes the interesting.
where other phasmids imitate sticks or leaves, this one's a living reed. It disguises itself among the reeds here on the Insulindian coast. Hence its name, the Insulindian phasmid. Perhaps you'll end up co-discovering the phasmid with us, officers.
There's a touch of awe in the way she enunciated the creature's name.
I knew it. We're gonna be chasing made-up insects with cryptozoologists.
It's not made up, officer. I can assure you. It's simply elusive, so much so that most establishment zoologists doubt it exists at all. Well, some teenagers making out in the reeds saw one. They didn't know what it was, of course, but there was a brief article in a local newspaper about their encounter with a ghost insect that looks like the reeds.
Interesting. Maybe
Ayabe,
the
飛ばしちゃっ
phasmid
た。
made the teenagers make out.
I doubt it. It's not like teenagers need much encouragement in that regard. Of course, most phasmid sightings turn out to be false alarms, but their description matched the Insulindian phasmid perfectly, and they didn't even know what they were looking at.
Enthusiasm has wiped the worry from her face. Her eyes sparkle behind her glasses.
I suppose I have something of a personal connection to the Insulindian phasmid. All scientists have their little hobby horses. Not at all. Why else would it hide itself so carefully? Oh, I doubt it. No one gets into cryptozoology for the money, sweetie. Yes, it can blend in almost perfectly among the reeds. It's how it stayed hidden all these years, centuries even. Oh dear, I'm afraid I'm not explaining this very well. It is very special. Morel can explain it all much better. I wish you could hear him describe it. Then you'd understand, I'm sure.
アンチが暗示を伸ばせるやつ。アンチってどこ？あった精神科。火曜日だ。アンチの美ソ。学習、条件。平成、1。不眠症。21時間。なんか、21時間。20時間、長いの。安楽死。幸福で副鑑定で。アンリ、クロス、スイッチ。精神を上げて。 今、装備できた。
Whoa. In your hand, Pyrrolidon, the double rainbow of synthetic hallucinogens. What a funny little cap. Don't let the scary medical warnings throw you off. It's an inadequate antidote to radiation poisoning, but a potent antidote to boredom. It's not gonna give you radiation poisoning, stupid. Pyrrolidon is a perfect match for a badass junkie cop who's looking for a little heat. You need to lower the radiation levels, your stomach thinks. Slurp it. The container is warm to the touch. Or is that just the anticipation? You screw the lid open and look. A little slit on the side lets you just slurp it up. Like an oyster. Come on, what is he? Your mother? Is Kim your au pair? Slurp it. Slurp the morsel of danger joy. You suck a manly dose of the extremely chemical-smelling liquid into your mouth. There, it seeps into your tongue. When you swallow, it's already almost all gone. It tastes like many things, all melting into one conflagration in the back of your throat. As you look around, the world slowly exists, as it did before. Only now, gentle flames lick at its edges, as though it were a photo burning. Not really. It's just a metaphor. The effect of that otherworldly drop of liquid is slower, more subtle than that of real flames, yet just as warm. This warmth, it makes you want to share your discovery with Kim.
I'm happy for you.
His glasses turn golden as the fire reflects off the lenses. You feel this man is your brother. Just don't mix it with anything, he thinks, looking you over. Thankfully, his sense of balance seems okay. Whatever, I'm not getting involved. Wow, Kim's badass. Or he's had a druggie partner. Whoa, that's probably it. He's seen it before. Look at all these guys go off like fireworks as information pours into you about the lieutenant's simple remark. I'm happy for you. This stuff is great. Why not? This government-developed substance seems very non-intrusive. You could even operate heavy machinery. Fire machinery. Please don't actually operate any fire machines. Already you can tell you're going to be slurping a lot more Pyrrolidon. This stuff is going to give you insight into that little flickering light hidden in all human beings. If you can keep the vomit in, because it sort of also makes you want to throw up.
In the bottom right corner of the screen, there's a Pyrrolidon button. It gives +1 to psyche skills. Empathy, suggestion, authority, inland empire, esprit de corps, and volition. This is good before rolling a white check, but damages your health.
はい、というわけ
Oh,
で、
hello, dear.
でいけるか。
There you are again.
You're an
Okay,
enthusiastic
okay.
idiot, but you're still an idiot.
We
失
don't
敗
have
した。
time for Cryptozoology 101. Let's get back to work, shall we?
83% で失敗し。本当は、ですよ。今なんだっけ。これが、白米。まあ、いっか。なんで見るわ。ほぼなかったね。
The man ponders his cooking utensils and gives you a little nod, acknowledging your presence.
Speak Revacholian?
そうだ思い出した。
We speak Suren. There is no such thing as the Revacholian language. But don't worry, your message remained clear.
The cook is
まずは
still
雑貨屋
smoking,
行って
ash falling
袋
from
買っ
between
て
his fingers. His hands are large and clean.
Good thing he didn't understand a word of your stupidity. Speak Revacholian? We speak Suren.
The cook,
Good thing he didn't understand.
the man,
関係
takes
ない
another drag of his cigarette and shakes his head, smiling widely. It's not. This industrial gas-powered stove has been used
やるぜ。
to prepare food for many hungry hostel guests.
やべ
There
え
are
だろこれ
several pots and pans on hand.
What are you planning to do? Throw a dinner party? Please refrain from culinary experiments until after we finish the investigation.
Whatever you had planned, you have to do it when the lieutenant's gone. The stove is unmoved by
これさ。
your comings and goings.
これ言えなかったじゃん。これ。こいつがいなくなって、ここが空いてる時にやんないとダメってこと。これ後で後でやるか。
Can I help you?
来いからいけるか。
Got the 20 real? Then why are you wasting?
こんなどっからそんな稼げねえだろ。こいつら、後回しにして。とりあえず。おふくろってここに言ってない。
Is this about the questions again? Because I don't.
You see several packaged raincoats fill a low shelf beneath a display of croissants and juice
あ、また間違
bottles.
え
The
た。
raincoats
横
are
に指が行くと
transparent.
さ。あ、
The
もっ
tear
たいね。
machine stands in the corner. A sign says a small cabinet on the wall
袋
is
がないと
filled
ダメっ
with
て袋っ
various
てどこに売っ
medicine
てんの？
bottles, nasal sprays, and blister packs. They all bear the Saint Baptiste pharmaceutical. A colorful display of
袋ってどこにあん
Again,
だ？
I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and cigarettes damage your health.
a small
袋がない
cabinet
と
on
買え
the
ない。
wall is
って
filled
書い
with
たのに袋
various
がどこに
medicine.
も。どこにある？
The tear machine stands in the corner. A sign says
Oh, that's the tear machine. It's a machine for tear. You need a bag, I guess. We used to have
Ta-ta-ta-ta.
some, but we gave them all out, so.
あ、いや、でも全部配
Feel
っちゃ。
free to use it if you find a bag, though. I'm sure there are some.
その辺りに落ちてその辺りに落ちてんのか。全然見つかんなかった。いや、ダメだ。全然ダメだ。福祉、とりあえず。冷蔵庫、キヤ。冷蔵庫。畑。なんかある。ルーズ。ラジオシティ。
Yes, a sci-fi. Me? No one. I'm just a working class woman.
She doesn't really want to be disturbed that much.
Looking for something to read. It is. I know you are. What with?
What with? A lot of things. For example, people tend to go missing.
My husband? No, he's not. I don't know. At home now? Out drinking with his friends? Working?
Where is this going, officer?
Yes, but... No. Why are we still talking about this? I haven't lost my husband.
Her hands move open. An array of neurons fire up.
My husband? No, I don't know.
Where is this going?
Yes, but no. Of course he's not. It's not like... No, absolutely not. Are you a policeman or a nanny? They are not...
You know where they are. They're...
What? That's just... My daughters are perfectly fine. They're with their friends down in Shamrock. There's nothing to worry about. They're almost grown up now anyway. They're past the age they need me protecting them from everything now. My youngest girl, Jolie, is just shy of 16. Jenny, she is turning 18 next month. But we shouldn't even be talking about them. Why do you need to know this? Haven't I repeatedly told you that they're not missing? That they're in Shamrock, safe and well, at some stupid party?
Did someone say party? You could use a party. Hunt it down.
There is no investigation here. I can tell you that. I don't mean to disrespect, sir.
For what it's worth, I agree. But cockatoos...
I don't even have a cockatoo. And guess, even if I had, it wouldn't be missing. Great. Nothing.
Maybe you should.
Wonderful. The store is open. No, I don't. Why do you think that I smoke? It's not like yours look much better. I already told you I don't have any. Go bother someone else.
She's lying. She's goddamn lying. She has smokes.
Sorry, officer. From the kiosk? There's one near the harbor. It's a frita.
She sighs. The woman before you.
Hello, sir. Step right in. The store is open. Are you interested in a new and exciting book? It's a bookstore, sir. We sell books, postcards, and some board games. It's called Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold your horses, little girl.
That is a book. They have stories inside them. It's like someone told you a story in a really long letter. A postcard is a small cardboard picture. You can write a few words on the other side and send it to your friend or beloved. Board games are like little games on a table. My pleasure. Anything else you'd like to know? Okay, sir. I'll try to answer any... My name is Annette, sir. My mum, her name is Plaisance. She owns the store. She's inside minding the register or organising the stock. Feel free to step in and browse our wares. I'm signalling that the store is open. Otherwise, people might not know. They'd miss out on the crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. Thank you, sir. I'm happy to help Mum out with the store. My name... Feel free to step... I'm signalling that the store is open. Otherwise... Oh, no, sir. I do my studies at home at the moment. I have to help Mum keep this place running. School? Well, mine is a big yellow building on Boogie Street, and the people there run it. They say it's a charity.
The gale wind blows in from the coast, a wind of needles. It wraps itself around a building of brick and mortar. Somewhere, a clamour rings through the honeycomb of classrooms. Remorse, the parquet of assembly halls, the rows of stall bars are growing cold. You haven't heard a word of what she's been saying these past few moments. You only hear...
Mum says it's necessary to do both because it builds character. Mum says a proper worker is dutiful. That's how you get ahead in life. You succeed.
There is stress and unease behind these words. She's reciting etiquette.
Mum says it's peachy. She was a little afraid at first. There's talk about this house being
音
cursed.
Behind her, the window has been boarded up. You sense the boards creaking, twisting for a second, and some kind of doubt in her tense shoulders.
Cursed in the way that makes them say that no business has ever really thrived here, sir. That they all go... Exactly, but we've been doing fine so far. They shouldn't be, but they seem real. Anyhow, they say that these grounds are doomed for businesses. Of course, sir. I do my studies at home at the moment. Mum says it's necessary to do...
There is stress.
Mum says it's
Behind her, the window has been boarded up.
cursed in the way that makes them... Exactly, but we've been doing...
We can go into the bookstore and ask about the case, but I don't see much more to look into here.
Yes, please do look at our wares inside. The postcards and board games you asked about are also there, sir. Nothing really, sir. Mum doesn't allow me to sneak around in the back rooms or the cellar. I don't really know what's there.
もっと
It does not manifest itself in any way. It does not exist. I liked it better when we were talking about whether it's appropriate to stand out in the freezing weather. No such thing.
Anything else you wanted to talk about, sir?
It does not.
Maybe I can tell you about some of our books. Crime fiction is about murders or burglaries or things like that, and the work of a policeman or a private detective who's trying to solve a crime and catch the criminals.
Crime is what we were solving before this conversation began.
It's exciting to people, I guess. They get to imagine dangerous things, and it's kind of like a puzzle, where you can guess who the criminal is, or how the good guys are going to catch him. You don't look much like a policeman. Didn't mean to offend, sir. Sorry, sir. It's just that you don't look like Dick Mullen. Don't say that. He's not even real. You're real. Cheer up, sir. No need to compare yourself to a fictional character. Maybe you can show me some real deductive police work, sir. Like in the books.
形成
The girl keeps her hands folded,
いけ
hidden. Why is
83%
that?
What do you mean, sir?
She looks around anxiously. Her hands remain folded in front of her. The lieutenant stands by, looking at the two of you with little interest. She brings out her reddened hands, her nails frayed, nearly chewed down to the flesh.
And you knew this from me keeping my hands folded? Well, that proves nothing. Anyone could do an easy deduction like that.
She nods, half provocative, half enthusiastic.
Maybe so, sir. Okay, I know it's a bad habit, and I shouldn't. It was okay, sir.
There's more that can be achieved
剣
here.
ダメじゃねえか
Ask her to do the same.
You're quite sober.
The lieutenant does not flinch at the comment. He does not flinch even a single bit. He is intensely not flinching.
Because you usually aren't. Fritz, maybe? Alcohol is not good for you, sir.
There she stands, swaying on her feet, assaulted by the early spring breeze. She smiles at you. The whole situation
28
suddenly...
It's
な
the
んだけ
type
ど
of book where there's or there could be a story about a poor lady getting a rich man. It's about man and lady business, sir. It happens, but usually the guy gets rich in the process. Or should actually... Those are unhappy books, for most of the... These are
福島屋
not very
探して猫
common. Well, maybe then that's really not a proper romance. Not in romance books, sir. I haven't read many of those. Maybe... I don't think it's a romance story if the main characters break up, though.
You can take this. The girl is at a loss for words. She shifts. Stop. There's no need for this.
I'm sorry, sir. I don't know how to help you. Sir, sorry, sir.
It's time to leave it be. You're about to make a child cry. Are you proud of yourself? This is your tiny chance for redemption.
Yes, sir. Oh, kings and... I think that's why people read... I don't know.
They're all dogs.
Why would they do that, sir? That's so cool. Maybe they'll make you a book... Oh, that's Auntie Billy. She's nice if a bit distressed. No, sir. She's a working woman who comes to look at the books a lot. I think she is a bad husband. Not very nice or helpful.
Wow, you work hard. Oh, yes, you hustle. You're a provider. It's tough out there, but you keep it real and provide. Oh, yeah, like a horse, a workhorse, for hard work. Look at yourself. You're a human pedometer. You must have walked 200,000 steps down cracked asphalt, mosaic, sand, and linoleum. That is the sign of a hustler who never gives up. The world is harsh and people are evil. You didn't make it that way, and you won't let it break you. You ride. A little. You make money. You got gills, baby. Got those black papers with the faces of the innocents on them. You bring in the Franco Negros and the Solas. It ain't easy, but you do it, day in and day out. You didn't make the rules, but you won't lose. You're a cop, and a sprinter, and a money printer. Yeah, you're in the sales business. Shake 'em for shit and then pawn it off. Law officer style. Sure. And has it been easy? Is life easy? Have you not gone into cardiac arrest? Are you not about to have an anxiety attack or shoot yourself in the mouth? But you still hustle 24/7, ride or die.
もう
Now,
2時間経ってんじゃ
ask
ん。
yourself, are you rich? That's right. You work harder than anyone. You almost rode yourself to the grave and you're still practically a hobo. The Gart man has set himself up one of those self-replicating money structures. You should learn from it. Don't play the victim. Think hustler. Think with your head. Because of the taxes, G-Man's got his jam-covered sticky fingers in your pocket, stealing from you every time you buy, sell, walk, talk, fart, so much as sneeze. Every time you wipe your ass, they got their direct and their indirect modes of taxation. Sales tax, excise duty, extraction tax, alimony, one tax that doesn't even have a name. Plus there's the stuff people in other countries pay for. That makes them ask for more money from you. Here, total tax duties add up to 98% of all your money.
本当かよ。
Here you go, hustler. Fight the righteous fight. Free the people. Keep it real. Keep it street. Keep foaming at the mouth furiously on the tax issue.
"変わるかね。
My husband? No, excuse me. A bad husband. Do policemen just go around repeating what some kid off the street said? Is she now? Annette's a sweet sprout, but she doesn't know anything about marriage. No, I don't. I have a good husband. The kind and helpful sort. And he's not... Excuse me? Do policemen? Can I give you some friendly... No, I don't. I have a good husband. The kind and... I don't know.
Where is this going, officer?
She gives you a short nod and shifts her attention. The woman... The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular, sword-wielding barbarian on the cover. Nearly all the titles contain the word Hyundai somewhere. Mountains of it. Heroic quantities of Hyundai. Rows and rows of Hyundai men blur your vision. You make out some titles. Maybe 100.
飛んだ。
Man
ジャン
from
グル。
Hyundai and the sages at the end. Those snow crabs are worse than they sound. Not even close. Man from Hyundai in hell. Man from
何こ
Hyundai
れ。
and the forest of snake. A twinge at the back of your head
83
makes you flinch. Your eye starts twitching. Your hand reaches toward a book with glossy cover art of the very muscular man from Hyundai in chains, kneeling in front of a staircase leading to a throne. A woman sits on the throne, leering at the man. She's laughing at him, belittling him. Between the throne and the Hyundai man lies a bonfire, casting shadows on the wall. The shadow of the woman's headdress looks like a pair of devil horns. The title reads, Man from Hyundai and the Devil Woman. Especially those leering types who seem to wear nothing but an armored bikini. There's also some sort of a snake lizard beast slithering around her abdomen, chest, shoulder region. The display rack before you is burdened under piles of Man from Hyundai novels.
今日はさっきこれはあれか。
A small
こいつが母親
mountain
な
of
のか。
colorful board game
ボード
boxes.
ゲーム。
There are numerous types of games for all ages. A lot of shelf space seems to be taken up by
Wonderful board games, sir. The Viticulturist is a class. Browbritter is a fun game of economic competition.
Who are you going to play board games with? Do you have friends or family? Are you actually friends? Or just colleagues thrown together by
Don't be so hard on yourself, sir. You just need to clean up a bit. For playing with friends, I'd recommend Suzerainty. It's
Okay.
a civilization building game where you build a lousy auras there. I've heard they turn people into a
an endless variety of source
こいつはあん
books.
まり
Law,
声
there's
が良くねえん
also
だが
a。large hardbound tome with intricate cover art. The Hunters of There's a box that says Wirral, 3rd edition mega setting supplements module.
滝
The side panel notes a fantastique adventure board
60
game.
なんだろう。
An endless There's also a towering mountain of colorful board game boxes and Wirral
ロック
codices.
中になってんだけどなんで。
lousy. I've heard they turn people into occult enthusiasts.
どこも。
Welcome to crime, romance, and be welcome. And please take responsibility for the energy you bring into. Sir, don't be ridiculous. I certainly will not give you. One has to earn one's success. I am the proudest owner of our little a fridge. No, I don't know anything about a fridge. Aren't you interested in books? A book about cockatoos? There should be one upstairs, right next to the shelf. Goodness, you were already doing good, browsing the shelves. Why'd you stop? Don't you feel compelled? Everything is on the shelves.
She's attempted to mentally direct you towards the shelves.
Truth be told, not really. My sister brings in most of the goods. I'm sure it's all
Oi,
very
oi.
literary stuff with well-written prose, but you don't learn about the important things in life from fabricated stories. I provide a valuable service. As long as people buy books, I'm fine. The truth is available if you just know where to look, and you have to open and
She smiles and nods, seemingly relieved.
Cursed? Who said that? Annette? I will have a word with her. This place is not cursed.
Chicken energy.
Annette, yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off again with her nose in science fiction. Wonderful. Did you talk to her? Great. On a scale of 1 to 10, how compelled were you to buy books after talking with her? My precious, her dedication brings joy to my heart. If you have children, I hope they turn out as great as my Annette. As a young girl should be, with the proper attitude, she'll have... God! I've told her not to do that. It's such a disgusting habit. She'll get over it. She can, if she has enough.
Come on, ma'am. It's obvious she can't do anything about it. You are placing an unnecessary burden on a young child.
She stands stiff. This is a person coming to terms with a new reality.
Oh no. Hold on. I need to invite her inside and apologize. She must be freezing out there.
何
There.
なぜ
I don't know
開
what to
始
say to you. My husband, he tries to teach me business lessons. I have what my mother called a dull mind. All this stress. Yes, my husband is a successful entrepreneur east of the river. If only he were more involved in the business we're running up here. No matter. Soon we'll both be off for Grand Couronne. It's a proper place to live. One of the most peaceful neighbourhoods east of Jamrock. You may know it for its massive housing projects.
Your head feels light and dizzy. A cold breeze caresses your flesh. Monstrous buildings loom over Grand Couronne. A cold wind howls in the empty halls of homes built upon Duluth. There is no life in Grand Couronne. No one can afford to live there.
Most of the buildings are empty at the moment. It's a great opportunity to get ahead of the crowds. He made the initial investment. Since then, he's been what you might call a silent partner. Yes, my husband is a successful entrepreneur. He made the initial investment. Yes, I'm afraid so.
A glimmer of sadness blinks.
We're quite busy people, you know, my husband and I. Quite. I'm sorry. I'm sure she's been too busy helping me here. So she studied at home this time. I assure you, I of all...
The woman looks aloof. Her feet... You see a set of tattered curtains blocking the way to another room. A strange cage-like trinket dangles from the curtains.
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only. Nothing. Now please go back to browsing the books. Don't you feel compelled to look at the books?
Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away, you see some kind of charm. An irregular polyhedron assembled from bones, sticks, and straw. Inside, a disturbing fish head with empty eye sockets stares at you.
どこがカゴどこにあるの
Aside from poking at it suspiciously, there is nothing else to do with the fish head charm at this time. The curtains remain shut before you.
目覚ましして北海道見よ
These shelves are overburdened with books. A couple of spook novels hide amidst all the detective.
Oh, crime, robbery, you're a police...
Sex crimes did pique your interest.
Oh, crime, you're a...
Sex crimes, crime fiction. These books, furthermore, they have no idea how hard it is to... What's more, they complete not a single mention of all the stress this work creates upon the officer's family. Detective fiction. You see Dick Mullen on the job. Get me Mullen. The stalwart. A killing is declared. Dick Mullen in the murder house. The final case. Oh no. Turns out he faked it. Yes. There's tragedy calls. After all this, you still haven't found the answer to the one question that matters. Your quick eye notices a small caterpillar crawling across the spine of a worn paperback from Dick Mullen's classic hard-boiled phase. Could it be the motifs of unstable identities and shocking betrayals? Perhaps you're drawn to the dark and noirish atmosphere. Is it because the smoking dame in the slinky red dress on the cover yes, it is. The bulge in your pants is embarrassingly obvious. Relax. It's not that bad. Also, this means your blood flow is returning to normal.
Something the matter, detective?
The lieutenant narrows his eyes and contemplates the book for...
I would certainly say she fits the description, providing that's your type.
ガニガニ魔導書
The plaque on the shelf reads...
I would say... a very influential historical... The book is also very daring. The author... Perhaps for a layman, certainly.
You feel like you should get this one. Browsing through... Suddenly, a particularly high-speed love chronicles the romance between. Next to Irv's life story, you see a slim biography of an next to that, Rivasholian radio personality Guillaume Bevy.
I really must insist you buy one of the books. Reading them is not for free. I'm sorry, I did not mean to rush you. You are browsing.
Several maps have been attached to a bullet. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Insulinda, a map of Revachol, and a map of Martinez. This large map displays archipelagos. You see a constellation of small dots on the light blue emptiness of Ozon, Laurentide, Fas Alam. In the northeast, a dust mite stands on the north coast of Caillou in a bookstore. It's you. Radiating outwards from you, the suzerain Revachol, with a radius of 80 kilometers, still the crown jewel of this Isola would be barely visible. You can, on Caillou, Revachol, a single black star, on Ozon, Fondelier, and Viman, the ocean breaks apart into a tangle of cosines and azimuths, all pointing into pale nothingness. Windy is the north azimuth. Connections to other worlds, words past the Insulindian, unknown to you. You have little idea what they are. Distant stars, gods, but looking at them makes you feel almost perhaps they are gods. Gods of distance and outer. The north coast of a verdant island is shattered by the delta of a river. It is the river Esperance. To the east, rolling hillsides, Le Jardin, Stella Marie. The suburbs of Saint-Baptiste, swallowed up into the megas. Coudon, it's somewhere to live. Not bad. Then there's Jamrock. It's bad. People shouldn't live there. But it's so small you can't even see it on the map. No, wait. There it is. North of Jamrock. The strip of coast next to the Greater Revachol Industrial Harbour. It looks downright. No, Coal City is worse. A charred limb. Rain falls on its slick black streets. And then there's the burnt-out quarter in the heart of Jamrock. No, this is somewhere to be. It's not really a map. It's a tourist thing. A picture postcard with buildings on it, drawn from an isometric perspective. Still, it's detailed. Could be pretty useful.
I'm sorry, officer. The map of Martinez is the only one available. The other two are not for sale anymore. And besides, you could scarce... They're quite valuable, though they might not look it. The map of Martinez is 90 cents. That old thing? It's an out-of-date map of a tourist location that never was nor came to be. From when some design studio people tried to spruce the place up 4 or 5 years ago. They didn't get that far, for some reason. A shame the project never got going. Would be nice if someone fixed Martinez up. All these ruins are bad for business.
ゴブゴブか。手さばきを上げて1回試してみるか。手相、勃起を上げるやつでそう。ホワイトだから。
Several the maps look old and
1回やってみるか。
Your eye catches slowly. You move your hand toward the map.
失敗した。
Perhaps not. It's against RCM policy to defraud small business owners.
Always good to be informed of your
仕方ねえ、
surroundings.
科学。よしこれで。マップ。見やすくなったよ。もっと西に行けるスイマー、ケルト、西の方に行けるのか。東はもう行けないのか。中野市、パンの。
This bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance, and biographies of. Amidst the various books, you find the point of the book, and many others on this shelf, is to give people medicinal advice. It serves platitudes while also telling everyone wholeness. When it's up to your mind, it's your own fault if you're ill. Got it? The book features chapters on topics such as, there's even a chapter on the ancient Seraïs tradition of using duck gold. This is just mundane garbage. What's even paranatural about this?
ほんと。
Sir, please, no
One
rousing
hour's
that hell.
passed.
That wisdom is not for
王
free.
子、彼女。
I can't have
冷
you
蔵
end
庫を
up
見つける前に
like opening a police store next door and stealing my customers.
内陸帝国。内陸帝国、内科、アネーナ。帝国、カスイチ。マイナスなってるのはないな。
The worn map features the path your finger moves. Finally,
For a more detailed view of the map, go to your journal and select.
your finger moves. Finally,
For a more detailed view.
迷子へ行くか。
this bookstore is not strictly about crime. The throbbing in your head increases
Okay,
suddenly, as
72%.
if out of nowhere. A small green book becomes apparent. The title of it reads, Medicinal Purposes of the Pearl. The book contains very little explanation on the matter. This knowledge seems to be taken for granted. The book contains descriptions of various pseudoscientific therapies, alternative medicines, and folk remedies involving the pearl, also known as le territoire. For example, it recommends vigorously swatting one's naked body with a venik or hand broom, made from the leafy twigs of a young birch tree from the near pearl. Even better if you can find someone else, preferably a large woman dressed in nothing but a towel, to thrash you while you're spread naked and helpless on a cool slab.
OK、Google。
It is supposedly invigorating and good. It also recommends consuming distilled spirits like vodka or whiskey that have been aged in. Among other benefits, it is alleged to restore a damaged liver to perfect health. For general health and well-being, readers are encouraged. These strolls promise to cleanse the mind of worries and the body of toxins, especially if the perambulator performs this ritual. This is exactly what you... I don't know. I don't want to be the party pooper. There's an entire section devoted to cures for men who are struggling.
Excuse me, sir. I believe you've been perusing that particular volume long enough. If you'd like to continue.
今日ちょっと話。これで終わりかな。
A sulfur-crested cockatoo sits on the cover. Its beak turns out that there are so many different cockatoo species. You don't have behavioral problems. Turns out that you don't have...
It's a must-have if you own a cockatoo. I've heard they're quite capricious.
手さばき。手さばき。時差ボケ。
A sulfur-crested cockatoo sits
マイ
on
ナ
the
スはない
cover.
から、よっしゃ
You
行くぜ。
wait for the storekeeper to be
83万。
It's quite a challenge, but eventually...
やったぜ。白素の
A
もの。
cockatoo is a parrot with an erectile crest found on the Seminole. This
オウムの
book
一週
talks
間。
about the delicate nature of twos, as well as where to even begin. All cockatoos are known for their needy natures, requiring attention for at least 2 pet owners also report moodiness, loudness, and hostility as recurring issues. It is not recommended to get a cockatoo if you're not... You're right. Cockatoos are magnificent creatures. They love to... Ouch. That must
What is it?
hurt. This is a yellow-tailed black cockatoo. Its specific name... Perhaps the most impressive of all the species, in the words of poet explorer, despite its banging name, The bang bang cockatoo is actually the shyest of the species, common in almost all Seminoles forests. Yes, but all those cockatoo species are so different. Which one are you? You're right. You're the mediocrity embodied. This unsung bird. The curtains, tattered with age and covered. Just as you're about to pull apart the curtains, the petrified voice of the shop owner cries out once more.
Sir, don't touch that. I told you it's off limits for the customers. Parapsychologically speaking, we're done if you decide to...
She looks away, mumbling. Why is everyone always messing with the curtains?
Everybody suddenly needs some...
Okay, so what's in there has a will.
No, it's just a storeroom for the employees, I told you. Why? It's not like anyone was killed there. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be so impolite. Just please don't go...
The curtains do seem frail.
You do? My
力が目
God,
覚めてしまっ
even
た
more reasons not to mess with the curtains. Just step away, dear sir. Thank you. Let's just talk about this first, all right?
Lies. There is something mysterious. The curtains, tattered with age and covered in dust, hang before you. As you see a dimly lit room full of dusty furniture and trash. A doorway stands in the back, covered in dozens of scary little cage-like trinkets, your shadow looming over it like an omen.
I warned you. You're unleashing forces beyond your understanding.
なんか言ってる。そんなことは普通に見れるか。お腹、顔がある。こんだけ行こう。冷蔵。
A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of little oddly shaped trinkets and charms.
数学、
It appears to be locked. Only an echo. No one is there. A hollowed out, dark echo.
交通通学。これ、肉体か。肉体装置。つく、から揚げれるやつあるか。遅刻、レーナー。コック。目からとりあえず。8世紀。数。数学。整形、そうだから。
A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of little oddly shaped trinkets and charms. It appears to be locked.
成功じゃない
You
緑になっ
smash
た
into
け
the
ど。
wood and see a small crack appear on the door frame. It's going to take one more try to break through to the other side. But you've done it.
You're not thinking of trying again, are you?
Daiso ダイソーはどこやねん。 冷蔵庫、バードからのさ。黄飯、ミニトマト。
What is this place? No, it's a gym. Though it looks like no one's been here in ages. I doubt the electricity still works. Good thing we have a flashlight on us. Don't forget.
Some specks of dust shimmer in a faint beam of daylight falling from the window. An eerie feeling rises in your chest.
Yes, because it's closed. No need to look for supernatural explanations where a banal one will do. No.
A barbell lies on the... It's 60 kilograms. Your trust. There are no collars on the barbell. Why does it feel so familiar? No, it's not a memory.
You're right. The weight may fall off. Better not touch it then. It would be a violation of EPIS safety regulations.
4、モテねえだろ。懐中電灯。出発である。これはおいおい。こっち行けんのか、こっちだけ。
Your flashlight slides over an old green chalkboard covered in... Some of the writing has faded with age, but these lithe, pointy-eared creatures appear to be different types of welkins. You make out autumnal candle welkins, casting wax-based magic, translucent welkins, with organs shining under their skin, and even ether welkins, hailing from the vast emptiness of sidereal space. Who are all those creatures? Fantasies of a tortured, feverish mind? One of the welkins, towering among the rest, appears to be different. How it's Vara Hamira, a high welkin, his face white and scarred like cracked marble. This is clearly a welkin supremacist. The Haldor, the Twarg, the humans, and even headless men, all of them.
An inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing these little welkin creatures. Some people really like building a world, I think, even if it's just for a game. This looks like concept art for a project. It's not political commentary. That one has a... Just look at those details.
The photo collage depicts entire oceans have been frozen from shore to shore. There are, albeit dark and cold, this vision also a pinned postcard. This is a monthly calendar from the year 50. Cryptic words like sprint. It looks a bit like an academic calendar. As time goes on, the numbers in the boxes grow rarer and rarer.
Looks like they didn't make it.
A note in the bottom of the handwriting is only partly legible, but you can still make out 3 slogans. Call in. The full text reads, "Heat death of the universe is the new black." Another note says, "The biggest advancement in role-playing systems since the outside, a cold wind wraps the building in its bosom. Snowflakes in the wind. An old woman passes what the locals call..."
よくわかんねえ。
This appears to be some kind of machine with a cube-shaped heart and a wired framework. The keyboard has a rectangular...
A radio computer. Just sitting here without anyone inside.
What he means is that these things cost money. Why would anyone just leave it behind?
But we are looking for a fridge, and we are pressed for time, so...
On the other hand, it's not that I'm not interested in... This is the Ream Civic radio computer, model RC5120.
Maybe the body has stopped decomposing somehow. I don't know. You're in charge of this expedition of...
Is the lieutenant a little scared? You can always do it after. The machine lights up like some prehistoric animal stirring from its slumber, revealing fluorescent play and print keys. It's empty like a beehive without its brood.
This is where the memory should...
Nothing happens. Something's missing. Nothing. Something's missing. Nothing happens.
Nani mo konaiんだが。おいおい、ちょっと広いぞ。これ、戻れなく。シュ。これか。記憶ない。
This old fireplace is covered in lines drawn in blue and red radio frequencies, it seems. UKV, unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular. You think so? The web is comprised of radio stations. All lead back to one. Looks like a surveillance. They must have had massive air width.
監視
These
プログラ
things
ム。
don't come cheap. Someone very important. Whoever decides to call in to a call-in station, it looks like. A list of names under the stations suggests people across 6 Isolas would be playing. Muindi?
My God. It's as if the less money they had, the more ambitious their project became. The schedule. I know doom when I see it. The company was running out of funding.
Nothing. It's just lines on marble. An echo from time.
よくわかんねえな。
Okay. What do you think is going on with that computer, chalkboard, and
え、
fireplace?
何？
No, that's not it. I think...
Like he's ready to lay out a fine theory, crafted together like a
い
puzzle.
きなり反応。
It looks like one of those popular pen and paper role-playing games. Only these people were trying to automate it, make it work on radio computers.
Utter madness, he thinks, as a compliment.
Through call-in stations, none of the players have to be physically present. Anyone in the world can participate in the game. Then there's the game master frequency that listens in on the smaller call-in stations.
His fascination has swept aside other concerns for coordinating so many.
Not to my knowledge. They make automated games, but I don't think anyone has attempted to create an inter-isolary. Indeed, those Welkins are a dead giveaway. Role-playing people love that stuff. The world looks like a modified version of the WeWorld board game, with hit death thrown in. No idea. They stopped filling out the schedule on the chalkboard. Indeed, it's ambitious and untethered from reality, but... Yes, especially in here. Okay, let's keep moving.
「ラジオコンピューターで」あっちの方にあったやつか。
Tiles on the cube are still like a smooth draw. The filament slides into place. On the keyboard, the plate behind the hatch sits a bar of fabric right above the keyboard starts producing. Oh no. It was already glowing and now it's also making a sound. It's the static gets louder, slowly filling.
Good morning. Fortress accident en rue de Saint-Ghislaine. This is East Insulindian. Please repeat. Is this the production schedule? The filament you have inserted into the reader? Yes. Is that the product? Good. Please repeat the password. No. Received. I will register this login.
That sounds bad. Don't worry. Password.
Fortress accident. Is there anything else I can do for you? Fortress accident is the company. One moment. Fortress accident SCA produces revolutionary interactive call. Any other questions? Yes, I am allowed.
She repeats passwords. Programming people are all paranoid.
I work as a repeater at the East Insulin. As for me, well, I am sitting
On an island on the river Esperance, a small woman, all skin and bones, sits in a room.
now. Please tell me if there's anything else I can. Thank you.
Tiles on the cube are still the filament slides out of it.
パスワードがどっかやんのか。まずこっちの方へ行ってからするか。
An iron safety curtain curves before your eyes. For what an odd thing to do. Still nothing. Those curtains prove to be surprisingly sturdy. Your fist.
Can you please
体力
try
が
to
なくなってい
refrain
く。
from attacking random things? Why do you think there's something on the other side? In any case, there's no way we can get in right now.
Bent metal. Broken. You are the destroyer. The bane of inanimate kudos.
パンクス。換気。アイテムは何だろう。それでこの辺りからちょっと死ぬかもしれないから。仕事だ。み、じゃ。とどれだろうか。これ、殴り続けたら死ぬんかな。
As before.
クイックセーブしようか。
As before. Those curtains prove to be
Can you please try to refrain from attacking random? Thanks. In any case, there's no.
You feel something in your
腰の
chest.
感。
An unnatural pressure. Very, very bad. All you feel is cop suffers final heart attack. As before,
でも何の選
an
択肢も
iron
ないよ
safety
ね。
curtain curves before your. Those curtains prove to be surprising.
ちょっと勝手に行っちゃって。じゃあ、エッジの方行きましょうか。冷蔵庫はどこやねん。あ、これ、冷蔵庫か。
You see a terrifying ice bear with a strange compartment in its belly. The door is covered in frost, and the bear's eyes are glowing. This ice bear is a hyper carnivore. This must be the fridge you were told about. Look, a gust of freezing cold air rushes to greet you. You hear a low grumble as the bear regulates itself. This is the inside of a refrigerator. The lieutenant takes a peek inside. His hand has found the holster
Of course. A giant, just what we were looking for.
The shelves are empty. All you see are crumpled ice cream wrappers with the brand name, Revachol Ice City. A handwritten note has been attached to the...
It's certainly an eccentric choice, but it is capacious and cold enough, too.
But the optics on this are awful, he thinks. We need to be as silent as we can.
Shall we go and get the body, then? I'll take the head, you take the feet.
The body is heavier than you expected and stinkier. It takes half an hour to get it down to the bed. Then 10 more to stuff it into the fridge. The lieutenant takes a step back to admire your handiwork.
Beautiful. A dead body in a nice bare fridge. This is some of the best police work I've ever done. No, not really. Look at that. What have we done? We stuffed a dead body in a nice bare fridge. This story does not leave this room. No, they do not. They need to hear about our uneventful, boring, downright conservative murder investigation. At least we've stopped the body from decomposing further. Now you can conduct another inspection under controlled circumstances.
Inside the icy realm of the ice bear fridge, the corpse
もう
stands
低い
slumped,
じゃねえか。
waiting.
Shoot, Looney Rooney. I like it a lot, brother. This come back later, Corporal.
You pocket the note and the little fridge magnets keeping it on the door. A friendly cartoon. The paper still smells of vanilla and chocolate. Even under this stench, you can feel it.
近
Good
く
question.
4しかねえ
It
からな
looks。like an ice cream fridge.
Somewhere in the past, it's summer. 5-year-old Fifette lets go of her mother's hand. Change jingling in her pockets as she hops towards the ice cream. As she makes her way to the markets, her mother rushes to soothe her. But
I know. What is even worse, the bear is still costing them money. The electricity bill must be catastrophic. On the other hand, it did happen.
lucky us indeed. Refrigerated meat is much better for coroner's work.
28。近くの
The note is written with a blue pencil on a piece of lined office paper. The kitchen magnets have left spots on its surface.
Does it say anything interesting?
This is tangential at best, but the lieutenant's detective instinct is still active. Someone has scribbled, S. I can't believe the off-site copy is still here. The illiterate ginger kid keeps stealing stuff from the studio, so I had to hide it. You'll find the filament memory with the off-site copy in the frozen ice cream maker. Please take it home, ASAP. It's important. I'd do it myself if I lived in a civilized place with a freezer. Take care. Sully Soif.
Looks like someone from that radio game company upstairs. I'm a little surprised they just left their property lying here. That's a plausible hypothesis. It belongs inside a radio...
It's like the production schedule.
Really? You don't have a single guess? Oh, I'm sure that child would love to get his hands on a filament memory. Even if he doesn't know what to do with it, he'd probably try to pawn it. I don't know. I assume it's somewhere close to the...
近く
「 A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the wall. It's too dark to see in.
Seems like an old bunker from the revolutionary period. Look at all those rifles. Must be an old weapons cache.
ライフ、僕見えないんだけど。
There is, yes. And there also appears to be something inside the hole. Interesting.
Your hand reaches deep into darkness and spiderwebs. Rummaging around, you find rusty rifles hidden away.
Are these any good?
Most of them are rusty and inoperable, like the rest, but one catches your eye. A bolt-action model with a fine wood stock, in better cosmetic order than the...
That's a rare
Rifle.
sight. Seems to no longer be functional, but still a beautiful thing in its own way. It means there are firearms, albeit inoperable, still lying around in Martinez. It's an interesting coincidence, I would say. Might
He likes this find. Rigorous self-critique. Here it is. Hard facts from the man you are. You once jerked off in the locker room and were caught. You held a young woman by the arm and kept her in your apartment for 20 minutes against her will. That's right. These are not flights of fancy. These are real deeds, Harry, emerging from the darkness.
なるほど。アイスクリームメーカーあったんだけど。何も出ないんだけど。中口砲。まだ動作してんだよ。アナザーアイドラ。これでちょっと。
Two cables are plugged into the
延命
breaker
した。
box. The red one leads to the ice bear fridge, and the black one to the ice cream maker nearby.
さっき消えたらやべえ、止まっちゃった。演劇。これ移動できる。
Old call box with a matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the East Delta Commerce Center.
視力よ。バールを装備しろって書いちゃった。アイスクリームメーカー。調べ。
This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner on top.
R を少しパール。
This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner on top. And
強力な場合じゃないだろう。
It's all gone now. What better to assuage the creeping sense of failure than some frozen fat and sugar?
リーパール持ってこないため、なんか。
Two cables are plugged into the breaker
アイス
box.
クリーム。
The red one leads something
黒い方。
close to you.
Why did you do that?
The lieutenant raises his breath. This
これで
orange machine
開けやす
is
くなった
dead
ことは。
still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an
でも
electric
低いの
freezer.
か。3% のまま。
Only the red cable. Somewhere, a machine hums along.
名古屋市、壊れたらもうおしまいだもんで。
A thick layer of coal dust covers. Looks like this furnace has a face.
Looks like it. Looks like no one has used it in ages.
It's dark and grimy here. And the echo is so
What are you doing? Wait, really?
It feels safe to know. This sounded real. It's dark. The echo.
What are you doing? Wait, really? Maybe it's coming from behind those safety curtains. We should ask the lady in the bookstore what's going on with these curtains.
A lush layer of coal now covers your skin, sinking into the wrinkles. Maybe you could paint. A hollow ring echoes through the furnace. Your toe hurts.
危ね。写真とかと。急に死ぬ、じゃんって。あれがあればいけるんか。
As before, an iron safety curtain closed before.
これか。ボールを持ってる。1階って何？聞いて。両親は福島県。
You broke down the back door. I suppose it's all over now. Just a door? This place is cursed, Detective. They don't call it the Doom. I hope you're happy now. Happy that you've ruined everything.
Host Almighty, she prays. Guard me and my honest business venture from the...
Of course you didn't. You're nothing but a policeman. All right. You know what? I'm willing to let you investigate the doomed commercial area. We are set on the path.
Her facade has dropped.
But before we go on, tell me, did you encounter the malignant entity? You did? Then it has to be true. I've suspected that this woman-shaped energy must be connected to the curse ever since I first saw her. Did you see that she lives inside the chair? Yes, I've heard that. It's enormous. She has barricaded herself behind some metal security curtains up some unnatural magic, I assume. You should go find the entity and ask what happened to all the companies in the building.
If you're really interested in cracking this mystery, then we should go back to the furnace.
Despite his cool, the lieutenant's interested in solving this mystery.
Okay, but please, only a few questions. The curse is so... It's the curse of financial
Didn't that curtain just move?
It's not just that, officer. We're dealing... There's something wrong with this building. I can tell. It's not good to talk about the curse, not in detail. Yes, I've contacted numerous parapsychologists and even a pair of The wards help to keep the doom at bay. Oh, this? No, it's a special Himian amulet. There are numerous spells cast throughout the store. I had the books anointed with... Yes, the Simonees are very crafty and their wards are extremely... It's the curse.
Didn't that curtain just move?
But officer, there's something wrong with this. The curse. It's the curse.
Didn't that...
Everyone knows that all the previous companies in this building have... There's something wrong with this building. I can...
The woman looks aloof. Her features...
I'm sorry, sir. I can't...
You just can't win.
Math. Oh, I thought this would fit you. Like, thanks for helping out. Not me. The city, I mean. Like, just what Dick Mullen would ask. I got it from behind the curtains. I'm not really supposed to go there. Maybe. It's the hat dick. Right, I have to get back to my homework now. Before Mum notices. Man, this is hard.
帽子百科事典。今アタッチメントをしたんだ。修士学年科。もう一回戻ってと。セリコこまめにすると。こっちはこっちか。
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it
高い
pitch black.
肉体3。階上田美香のこれを一回外して。
A thick
これ
layer
の
of
多
coal
分いけんじゃ
dust
ね。
covers the furnace. Something breaks loose. in you.
97%
A
い
mighty
けるやろ。
bellow echo. You've awakened the entity.
Hello? Did you say anything? I can't hear you. Please come upstairs. There's
You hear a low.
After you, officer.
思考くっつけた方法。スキルポイントは後半になると思っていっぱいいっぱい。なんとかね。西とりあえず。開いた。何やってんのこいつ。
Hello, I'm Nia. Did you try knocking on my window? I must have missed you. I've been listening to my Melius. So what kind of...
Could this be the malicious entity? She's got a direct view to the backyard. You should interrogate her about the lynching.
Yes, Amelia is like a call-in station. You need a two-way. Mostly, they just teach you to swear in different languages. But some of the stations can. Then how did you get inside? By the south entrance? You know what? It doesn't even matter. I'm a novelty dice maker. Tell me the name of your role-playing system and I'll make the die you need. That's why you're here, yes?
As she speaks, her bone-like fingers fiddle with a ring. Her bones light, but her hands strong.
Answers? How strange. These days people only come to me for dice and role-playing games. I'm not sure how helpful I'll be, but go ahead and ask. How did I become one? It was a business decision. I was a regular... Some of my friends were role-players. They asked me to... Not especially. I like working with rare materials and a steady... Of course. Tell me what you have in mind. Ah, yes. Fortress accident. The Wiro untethered die is a variation of a standard role-playing die. I'm thinking something made from alligator jawbone, cast in black resin. The reptile bone is as white as ice and dead as, well, death. It's an icositetrahedron, a 24-sided die that can produce results. Untreated bone is porous and prone to chipping. Cast it in some... Maybe you have some other ideas for dice? What do you mean by cursed? Alright, how about I surprise you? Come, maybe you have some other... A star that fell from the firmament? Yes, you definitely have the proper attitude. 10 real, and I can get these ready in 8 hours. It's true, magnetic dice are Maybe you have some other idea? How about an amber die? Who told you amber was cheap? For 7 real, I'll craft you a 13-sided die from piece of amber with a fossilized insect. I had a feeling. Maybe you have some other ideas? A normal die? I'm a novel polyhedral dice. Come on now, be a little creative. I think I have...
Police colors.
You're a police officer, right? Here, catch. They're a gift from me.
You overthink it. Your hands can't agree what to do, and the 2 dice drop to the floor and scatter in opposite directions.
Ah, down the drain, like your career. I apologize, officer. That comment was unnecessary. That one is made of bloodstone with a lapis lazuli inlay. The other one was the inverse. They were a set, you see, but now the set is broken. It's a shame. They might have brought you luck. You definitely need luck in Martinez.
Is she pitying you?
83点も失敗することがある。
Nothing really. I didn't know him.
Who cares about the dead body? The lieutenant looked.
Your window looks directly onto the courtyard.
I'm sorry, detective, but as you know, I usually have my headphones on when... Well, there's always something going on in the... During daytime, there are usually those kids. And lately, but I never saw anyone during that. I might have, but in this case, it's really hard to make anything. It's an odd profession, making dice for people. But I like it, and I prefer...
She nods.
Anything else, officer? We're inside the chimney of an old central furnace. It's strange, I know. But when I arrived here, all the other rooms were taken, so I had to build myself a makeshift home. Besides, I don't...
Plaisance was right. There's an entity living in the...
Creative.
When she arrived here, there was no room anywhere else. She must have...
I've heard the stories, but I don't think those stories are true. It's just capitalism. We only hear about tales of success, so it's often surprising to realize how many ventures actually... Plaisance, the bookshop lady? I've heard that her business is doing rather well. Have the energy spared her somehow? Alright, but it's not just the bookstore that's still up and running. What about the whirling in rags? Some people say it's part of the building complex. You could say so. Both houses were built at the same time and under the East of the Commerce Central project. And then there is me. I've been here for 14 years, selling novelty dice to role-playing enthusiasts. Not exactly a million real business.
It's because she's in cahoots with the demons.
Malignant entity? What is...
The jig is up. Time has come to face the source. Fear not, for the forces of the universe are supporting you in this...
So I'm the Grand Dragon in the cave. Might I ask what supports this claim? Oh my. You better call the exorcists. Of course. Well, if you ever find a way to explain all those inconsistencies...
Plaisance needs to hear about this. Perhaps if you combine your psychic energy...
But when I...
Plaisance was right.
Creative.
When she arrived here, there was no room anywhere else. She must have known the other businesses.
More or less. Are you interested in anyone's...
Rats scuttle in the dark rooms under the abandoned blow dryers and...
Yes, I think it...
You wouldn't. It's not about the haircut. It's about the confidence.
I guess it just wasn't the time yet. It wasn't merely a gym, it was Artemiteps Boxing Club, a community project created to steer at-risk youth away from drugs and crime. A kind man from Zemsk. I heard he had some trouble with the law when... Kuno. Who's Kuno? Oh yes, you mean the kid with the sailor's mouth. Yes, I think it would take more than a gym to help that kid. It didn't. If anything, it made the youth situation in Martinez even worse.
You should have known it.
Eventually, the coalition took away the funding and the club went bankrupt. This was a few years ago. It's gotten much more peaceful around. Oh, this one's a mess. Turns out, the business was actually set up as a front, and they never cleaned up the debris either. Now it's just littering the hallway and I have no idea how to get rid of it on my own. Yeah, don't. You mean Mr. Fabron?
But what drugs exactly?
He got high on some weird taxidermy chemicals. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone.
Even you can probably do better than that.
There used to be a fashion atelier here, but I have forgotten the head designer's name. They were doing well for a couple of years, until the atelier didn't know it either. They produced a certain collection that used chitin, and you know how all kinds of political movements are big in the Occident. And, naturally, all the most fashionable tastemakers refused to be seen in chitin from then on. The atelier went bankrupt before they could finish the collection. Really? Anyway, they were made by a company called Slipstream. After they pivoted from making rotor blades to skis, their chief executive took off on a vacation. Honestly, I think it's quite funny. I think he's still sending out holiday transmissions. The usual, I imagine. But he's been thinking up all kinds of new business plans and can't wait to get started on them just as...
Men like that are a curse.
Sure, but Slipstream is history now. I have no idea why those skis and blades...
Maybe you could make a sword out of one. No.
Fortress Accident, the radio game studio. They were an interesting bunch. We talked about role-playing systems. They certainly took their work very seriously. Even if they seemed the usual, they ran out of money and couldn't... Well, I did hear them talking at times. They seemed to believe they were historical individuals on some grand quest. Yes, but when the money started to run out, they just began to complain a lot about capitalism. You know how in the end they just didn't get it done. They didn't have enough willpower to produce something truly historic.
Showing up to work on time is hard. No, scratch that. Showing up to work at all is difficult.
And so is producing something extraordinary. Anything else? Oh boy, the fabled Revachol ICT. You're in for a treat here. The place was owned by two guys who had some rather innovative ideas about marketing. The bear was one of them. There was really just one. And it involved picking out the and by man the booth, I mean slump behind the counter with a face that could maim you if you ever dared to disturb their bored magazine brow.
Fritte does the same thing.
Employing silky teenage girls is a widespread practice, yes. Unfortunately, they always come in packs. I'm talking about acne-ridden girlfriends and they already had the bear. The bear. Of course not. The bear was terrifying. No one wants ice cream guarded by a hostile apex predator. To make matters worse, eventually Revachol ICT lost the price war to its rival, Glace 5000. Glace 5000 sold caramel sundaes for only 5 cents a piece. Out of regular fridges. Maybe. Because the taxidermist who made the bear, he said that the bear was his vision beast. He said he met his vision beast while high on desiccant.
Scary, but cool.
Megatherion, a mega wild beast. It's an imaginary beast that guides you by telling you to do more drugs, mostly.
Maybe this wise and noble beast can guide you toward those amphetamines you've...
Do you? Well, anyway, now you know the story of the fallen ice cream empire.
Little spot outside its light.
Anything else? Another failed business, perhaps? I've been here. Oh, right. I think none of those doorbells work, including mine. I'm still in the middle of connecting the wires. Sorry about that. That's right. I haven't even written my name there. As I said, you could say so. Both houses were built at the same time and under the East Delta...
If the whirling is part of the same building, then it's part of the Dune...
Right. It used to be a gaming arcade. This is an ancient... My advice, don't base your business on a fad.
Agreed. Pinball is the worst.
It can't be true. They don't work here anymore. They've been gone for years. Are you sure it was Slipstream SEA? Was it a woman? Maybe it was Plaisance from the book Tricentennial Electrics? It used to be a major electric company.
No, it was some... Whatever happened, keep your cool. It's probably better to admit that it was a harmless prank.
Pranks can be eerie. Oh, the kids these days. We were just one of them, and now... Sure, I'm listening. I'm pretty sure it still doesn't work, but sure, what do you want to know? Sure, I'm listening. Good. I hope it clarified things a bit. What else?
Wow, so someone's been a little bored. Yes, my standard liege. Someone's seen all sorts of wild ideas pop off and thought, I'll take the boring. Of course you do. And maybe some black shoes or a pristine white shirt to go with that. It's a fish. Done and done. No actual...
White 保管 特にないな。特にこれはマイナスってわけじゃない。親子、やってみるか。
It's you again. Are you looking for a die?
A gust of cold air sweeps through the chimney.
成功した。
The stones and minerals on the shelves rattle as though agitated.
Didn't we already talk about this? What are you talking about? My address is exactly...
No. The old coal plant that used to be here was subsumed into the new venture. Its ruins swallowed up. Yet it has a different address in the...
This doesn't make any sense. Are you saying my business was spared because of a technicality? Where is this coming from? And what? Does it mean that I'm...
Don't let her become complacent. She still needs to ward her soul. She starts laughing, her fingers trying to...
Do you know what this is? It's a mourning ring. I made this when my first company failed. It was a small jewelry shop right here in the East Delta Commerce. I drove it into the ground within a year. I didn't have what you would call a viable business plan. It wasn't just the jewelry shop either. I always thought that it was just... And now you're telling me what? That it was all because I didn't run my little shops and ventures from a dump inside an abandoned chimney? Yeah. Or maybe it's the entire world that's cursed. That's why people like role-playing games. You can be... It's like every time you cast a die, something disappears. Some alternative ending or an entirely different world. But anyway, thanks for sharing your theories, officer. I'm listening. Good. I hope it clarified.
飛行、手に入るだけか。少し戻って。
2 hours passed.
福山西、さコンタクト。と思ったら、もう2時間経っている。
What have you found? And also, do buy the books. There may be a novelty dice maker. Well, spit it out. Why does she need the dice? For some kind of sorcery? Sometimes they use the ankle bones of sheep. I don't understand. If it's not her...
She's squeezing on the pendant too. Just don't say you don't have any answer yet. The uncertainty is killing her.
You're telling me that you went in there and didn't... Of course. The investigation's over. I don't want you going in there anymore. You're only angering the psychic weathering.
Wow. Total psychic collapse.
I am sorry we had to disappoint.
The shop around you feels ancient suddenly. Damp and...
入れるか。
Hello again, esteemed officer. Okay, but please, only a few questions.
The woman looks aloof. Her
あれ
features
これも
much
終わっちゃ
softer.
うのか。もういいよ。じゃあこれで行こう。袋どこにあるんだろうな。
There. Working class drunk. Cracked it. All in a good... What do you mean? What did I crack? Yes. And you found there's no need for champagne when there's honor, recruit.
もうやめよう。ちょっと。ちょっと懐中電灯を落としたいんだが。
Excuse me? I don't know. The most talkative one? The what now? You truly are one strange cop. And god damn it, I already told you. My husband isn't missing. Very well then. Where is he? Excuse me? Right, 'cause working class women come with alcoholic husbands. You know what? You were right. I do.
Ha! Blam! Knew it.
No, he's not. Or maybe I haven't seen him for... Well, to hell with him.
I wouldn't be man.
Report what? He's just out drinking with his friends. I'm sure the police has better things to do than to chase down local goof.
She sighs.
All right, go ahead. Do you have any questions? Honestly, not that different from you. Oh, thank God, no. Well, he's... What else? He was wearing a dark brown leather jacket with a bright blue inner line. It's his cool jacket. God knows.
Who cares about the cold when you have your cool jacket?
I even tried throwing it away once, but he just... Well, what can you do? Yesterday morning, he went to the library because we talked about it.
She turns away from you.
So you are going to look for him. Thank you. Please do. Even though I'm sure...
She tries to maintain a breath.
I'm sure he will too. When he does, would you let Precinct 50...
I will. Of course, officer. As I said it. Right. What about him?
She gives you a short nod before.
吉田やめよ。船。おい、お金稼げ、ねえぞ。なんか、止まった。販部室と飲食店。やべえ。外気を。あと2つあれ、今度まだある。ガンガン開けていく。視覚、計算。内陸帝国。シンクの。名前は適当で言えば。通話か。平成。まあ、これでいいか。よし、セーブしよう。これさ、研究結果がどうなるかわかんないから。疲れた。女子、冷蔵庫は。冷蔵庫、見つけられましたけど。結局、冷蔵庫のさ。チェックが重いから。まだまだ調べらんねえよな。困ったね。というわけで終わりでございます。さようなら、でござる。